All right, so this is just going to be super quick. This is the one that you've seen before. So it basically goes through and gets this curve, um, right? And then divides that curve into polylines, right? And explodes it into the individual segments, gets the endpoints, um, extrudes it. So if I preview it, there's the extruded pieces, gets the endpoints and uses those as a rotation option, right? So let me get rid of the original extrude, right? And so you can go through and extrude, rotate those like you could before. And then this next part actually goes in and gets the center of those guys and uses that to evaluate each one of those rotated surfaces. So it gets the normal for that from those surfaces, and that allows you to come in and extrude those correctly, right? So you can extrude them. So this is the little part that makes it possible to extrude while they're rotated. All right, so let me turn off all that stuff, and I'll just disable this for right now so it's not taking up any space. And then this one splits them. So it's the same process in the beginning, but what I do is I dispatch the pattern. So those exploded segments get split up into two different streams. So it just splits them down the middle, 0, 1, 0, 1. And then I also take the endpoints and do the same thing and split them into two lists. And what that does is it comes through and allows you to split them, right? So you have tall ones and short ones, right? With different extrusion options. They also have different rotations on them right now. So like this one has a 33 and a 59, but I could push this into the angle and they would both be the same, or you can use different ones to split them up. We could just use one rotate and put both streams into them, but I thought separating it would be easier. And then this is just that little extrude on the end. If you preview that, it extrudes them. So same thing, okay? Let me go ahead and disable those. And this one is a little different in that it comes through and we actually take the original curve, right? So that curve, and we extrude it. So it extrudes it as a single curve. And then we actually break that curve into different surfaces, right? So it just splits it. Let me go ahead and get rid of these guys. You can see it does what's called an isotrim. And then for every one of those surfaces, we get the area, right, which gives us a little centroid in the middle. And we do that surface closest point, evaluate the surface, and get the plane normal to draw the circles. So this is the circle one. So in order to get the circles to draw coplanar to all of those, you have to go through and get the normal of each one of those. And then if I preview this, it's drawing circles on each one of those. This little guy down here goes and gets the length of one of the surfaces and uses it to set the radius. We can sort of talk about that later. It divides it by 2, and so it gets close to being equal. These are squares. It would be different if they weren't close to squares, but anyway, this guy comes in and if we rotate these guys, right, you can see them all. Let me turn these guys off. Stuff. So you can see them all rotating, right? All those circles rotating. And then we put surfaces on them, right? So now they have surfaces. I'll get rid of these. And then we do sort of the same process in terms of extruding those with the normal. So if I come in and enable this, it takes quite a long time to do this because there is a lot of them, right? So if I preview these guys, right, there they all are extruded and rotated, right? So let me go ahead and Let's make this a little smaller. So I made that extrusion bit a little smaller. Um, and then you can rotate them. It takes a while to do this. So what I did was I just kind of got rid of the extrusion, so I disabled it. So disabled that. And I just worked with the boundary surfaces for because they're a little faster, right? And then later on you could turn on the extrusion. But you can kind of see, if I click this, those are all going to rotate. If I take them to 0, they'll all be lined up. But it takes a while to do it because it's a very sort of big thing. If you made the curve smaller, it would take less time. All right.